Oh. Oh. That. I didn't know it was coming. Generic Control in the DBZA here, back with some more Dragon Ball Z Abridged behind the scenes by Totally Not Mark. Today we are covering the Cell Saga, which is actually the last one of these Dragon Ball Z Abridged behind the scenes that we have. It is the longest one. It's literally longer than the Frieza and the Saiyan Saga combined, which actually makes sense because I'm pretty sure the Cell Saga was 30 episodes and the Saiyan and Frieza Saga were 30 episodes combined. That's actually a perfect length for the video. I don't know if he did it on purpose or not. You want to try my reaction to the Frieza Saga? Check it out right there. Also linked down below in the description. Also, not going to be a playlist on my channel, but there is a playlist on my channel with all my Dragon Ball Z Abridged reactions going in chronological order. I can't wait to show my best friend Kirby Dragon Ball Z Abridged. By the time you watch this video, we should have already recorded the 4 latest episodes of SAO Abridged, which means the next recording session we do will be starting Dragon Ball Z Abridged, which is going to be awesome. It's going to take so long to get to the Cell Saga, but I'm so excited. I know she's going to love Cell. She loved Alucard and Hellsing Ultimate Abridged, so she is going to absolutely love Dragon Ball Z Abridged and Cell and just everyone that's in it. It was such a big moment for me and my channel, so thank you so much for Dragon Ball Z Abridged. Shout out to Nick for watching these videos, dude. Thank you so much for commenting on the last video. Really means a lot to me. Shout out to the patrons. They get the videos there early. Allow me to not have a paywall on the channel. Couldn't do this without them, but let's go ahead and jump on into this video, which is 32 minutes long. I hope you got some popcorn. Also, my birthday is this Saturday. I'll be live streaming.
And this is Dragon Ball Z Abridged behind the
25.
Scenes, episode
Gosh, almost 30.
The finale.
The Saiyan and Frieza sagas made up the first
Audible
2
gasp.
seasons and 5 years of Team 4-Star's Dragon Ball Z Abridged series,
I
during
can't wait
which
to
they
show Kirby
transformed
this.
from a quaint online parody show to a fully fledged comedy production viewed by literally tens
Sponsored.
of millions of people per episode. With drastically improved voice acting, editing, and writing across the board, their little series quickly elevated to never-before-seen heights once
Episode 30.
30's climax graced our screens. However,
Which is
perhaps
when they
the
almost-
most
they thought about
impressive
ending it.
aspect of this was that their very best was yet to be seen. The next
Oh,
and
gosh,
final
she's gonna
5
get to meet
years of their
Popo.
production covered possibly the most popular and anticipated chapter in the Dragon Ball story, the
But
Cell
I
Saga.
don't think there's
Boy,
a single Dragon Ball
did they
movie
deliver.
with Cell or about Cell, is there? Is that a thing? Oh, what is this? I think I put out my reaction to episode 60, episode 1, and then my channel got deleted.
With each season, Dragon Ball Z
The amount of
Abridged
times I listened
became
to that
more
song,
and more
Day of Fate.
complex. How did you deal with the increased scope of the series as it progressed?
Transitioning to season 3 was actually pretty easy because it was a natural evolution from what we were doing already in season 2, which was, okay, we have these characters, now let's let them
breathe.
Yeah, let's let them breathe. Let's see what they can do and what they would do in these given situations. We were adapting with what the tastes
one of my favorite
were
scenes,
at the time,
actually.
what our tastes were specifically, and just trying to up our game in pretty much every level. And I know you
I think they did that.
took on way more.
Also, shout
tasks
out
when
to
it
Nick
came
for
to,
watching
like,
these videos,
cutting
dude.
things out
It
of
means so
scenes,
much to me.
putting things where they didn't belong. In the Cell games, we got rid of 3 entire characters.
We got rid.
Wait,
Specifically,
who?
you got rid of them.
Yeah, we
but
got rid of Karoni, Piroshki, and Pisa because
they
we
Who?
hated
They
them.
added nothing.
They're the worst. They are the worst. They are the worst addition the anime ever made.
You heard that, Space Orphans and Bulma the Frog?
At least
you
they
heard
were their
that.
own secluded
It's true.
episodes.
At least they
Except
were-
for the Space Frog. The Space Frog was ugly. But yeah,
Yeah, they were not fun.
like Piroshki, Karoni, and
I've
Pisa
literally never
ruined
seen you before.
Satan's joke. Satan's whole thing in that arc is ruined because of those characters. Because
No
they're
one has ever
worse
mentioned them in
versions
any
of
video
his
I've watched.
joke, and I hate them. They ruin his entrance. They just take up time and space.
Oh, wait! I do remember that! I never saw them, I don't think. I was so confused as to why they got put
The entire thing
into
is
it.
that he's supposed
Yeah, I
to be,
remember
like,
that now.
Humanity's pinnacle. He is the fish out of water there.
Yeah.
That is way out of his scope, trying to pretend he has his shit together.
Leave me out of this!
We had established these characters, and now it's time to write character-based
Mr.
humor.
Satan.
Because a lot of the humor before was kind of like, oh, look at this silly scene, let's subvert the scene. Where now we were writing of, okay, now we have these characters.
They even added
let's
a love
play
element.
this
Like,
scene
what?
with those characters and see how it pans out.
And it's also where we decided to actually give some of the people that didn't have characters a little bit more time to breathe, like
Chaozu, the Pokemon.
Tien and Yamcha and Chaozu, who became significantly snarkier after dying the second time.
Yeah, no, when he comes back a second time, he has died twice and he does not.
I absolutely loved writing for Chaozu in a lot of those scenes where it's just like, oh, I don't give a shit. Whatever, I've died twice.
Your discretion is advised.
The one thing you'll notice is that season 3 is
Who
full of
voiced
straight
Chaozu?
men. Like all over the place. Ten Shinhan's got a bigger role. 17 and 18, Piccolo. You've got all of these characters that are a lot more down to earth.
Remember when I thought 17 was a girl?
Or Popo or Goku. Hell,
in the intro?
Gohan steps up to be the hero of
Who
that
was
season.
the hardest to write
The
for.
hardest to write for. Oh, and Trunks.
Really?
Trunks' entire
Love Trunks.
character in that
His hair.
saga is that he really wants to be the cool hero, and he's just not. He's a failure. Trunks' whole thing
It's
is that
genetic,
he tries
he's half
and fails,
Vegeta.
but he never gives up.
He wants to be cool. He's a teenager. He wants to be accepted by these people he grew up hearing about, the people he knows as heroes. It's like a kid meeting the Justice League and wanting to prove himself.
Yeah, and then finding out that the Justice League is something Lord
Super incompetent.
yeah, just either full of assholes or idiots.
That explains the group pretty well.
Don't be nervous. He's just a normal guy. Just introduce yourself. So, you're Sun Wukong, right? Damn it!
So, we got.
Goku, yes?
I just did that death battle.
Roll with
Wait,
It was easier and harder in different ways. Easier
Okay.
because luckily we had established these characters and now they could just bounce off each other very naturally. But harder in that we had a lot more straight men and serious moments to deal with.
Well,
They also
Frieza,
had Dende.
looks like you
Dende is not
dropped
straight.
the ball. Drop the ball.
While having a deep, comprehensive understanding of how the show
I
was
thought
prepared from start to
King
finish
Cold
was
was gonna be a
indeed
bigger
huge
deal.
help in the writers' room.
Nope.
As the show went on, the writing standards for the series shot higher and higher also, and that very unwavering commitment to quality meant the show would take longer to produce with each passing season.
Oh, yeah.
Has it always taken a long time to write these episodes? What was the quickest turnover time you've had for one?
Sometimes it
Oh,
can
that's
take
actually a
lot
great
longer.
question.
Sometimes it goes a lot quicker. Sometimes it's a BoJack.
The turnaround time after it's been written, usually there's the directing, then there's
Nick
the
said in the last
editing,
video that the
and editing
Broly was what
process can be
took
harder
the
or
longest,
easier
like,
depending on the kind of jokes that we write. the
figure
length.
out.
It's about an 80-hour process after the actual scripting.
Typically, when
Wow.
we're actually
After the scripting.
working on this stuff, there's no break in there either. For a big chunk of season 3, I can't remember what the streak was, but we were going for like a year and a half straight on some of that stuff, and it wore us down.
Yes, it will.
How? The goddamn Super Saiyan asks you for a sensu bean, bald man. You say how many?
When you burn out on the creative process, you can't push through that. You
No.
don't push
Nope.
through that. You have to give space, you have to recoup, you have to pull yourself away because you push yourself through writer's block, not through burnout.
For so long,
It'll
I
be
think
really
it's a
bad
pipe
if you
dream
do.
of ours to say like, hey,
try
we're
to.
going to sit down and we're going to write multiple episodes. We're going to write out a season and we're going to work on that little by little and release it on a regular schedule. But that comes with its own big complications because then you have to stop everything else in order to do specifically one thing
Yeah.
for a block period. And I mean, you got bills to pay, man. It's hard.
Maintaining a single project's
That
momentum
look on his
for over
face is
12
like,
years
yeah.
is a difficult task for any studio. However, if you add constant copyright claims, countless takedowns, and the inability to monetize your work to the list of things working against you, it's not hard to imagine shows like this being abandoned after just a few episodes.
Thanks, YouTube.
However,
And Totally
Team
Not Mar
4
probably has a
stuck
really
with the
strong
show
opinion on
despite
that now.
all of these hardships for two main reasons: a love for the source material and a desire to entertain and uplift fans like you and I around the world. Whether it be through scenes like Krillin's death on Namek or Vegeta's pink shirt, no moment was too big or too small to inject their trademark wit
But only
and
had a
personality.
mustache.
You've mentioned a number of times at various panels that you don't normally plan ahead, but you do have jokes in mind, sometimes in advance. What joke have you waited the longest to tell?
You have
Another
heard
really good
probably
question.
the one that we planned the furthest ahead, and that was the destruction of the own count. Android 18 and Krillin. I mean, we didn't have the whole joke written out or anything like that, but we knew that was going to be the payoff of the own counter.
Oh, that. Okay. Oh, and that destroyed it.
That was the one that we
Victory.
probably planned the furthest ahead for when it comes to actual jokes. There were a lot in Season 3 that we plan to head on, that was definitely the one that we waited the longest on.
Dragon Ball Z originally aired in Japan between 1989 and 1996. However,
born
the majority of us
97.
Western fans would likely have discovered the show during its initial international run from 1996 through to 2003. When Team 4-Star took
I was
over the abridged project
little.
6 years later in 2008, its run until 2019
really?
would be only a couple years shy of the original broadcast and international runs combined. With a small team of people, an insane amount of passion and love went into making Dragon Ball Z abridged a reality.
Well, isn't
a
it also
series
like
many of us
600
fans
some
will
episodes?
surely be revisited
700?
for years to come. Do you have any favorite or least favorite moments from the abridged series?
Probably the first 10
In Lord
episodes.
Slug, one of my favorite jokes that we ever did is that Looney Tunes moment where Piccolo is fighting Dododabo and he like breaks his arm, kicks him off the rooftop, and we just do this Looney Tunes thing where he keeps going back up, getting knocked back down.
All right, go for the left. He won't see me coming from the
He does it again. I love that. That was one of my favorite movies.
Catch him off guard.
Hey, how's it going?
This is one that always comes back to me as a line that I personally really liked and resonated great with the audience, which was,
Trunks, you couldn't fathom the amount of dead men behind me.
Some of our actual favorite moments from the series, as you know, people that made it, are some of those more serious moments that do resonate very well. Tackling Gohan going Super Saiyan 2, redoing the entire score for that.
which I pushed for.
You pushed for a very long time.
Yeah, I was like, I'm gonna get a rescored, I'm gonna get a new singer, it's gonna be in English, it's gonna be fucking crazy.
I reacted. Like I said, with my channel got deleted, I listened to that song so
Actually,
much.
I thought of another favorite.
Oh.
And this is one that, like, it's just, I was
just
just very
watched that.
proud of us when we did it. Because when we were watching through the scene itself, we noticed that they implemented the Wilhelm scream.
Oh, yes!
It had nothing to do with any actual characters. It was just two Frieza soldiers talking back and forth.
Doesn't it sound like...
Nah, dude, it's more like...
Oh, the Wilhelm. Yeah.
No, that wasn't it either.
No, that wasn't it. That was it. Yeah, the Wilhelm.
I just thought
scream.
that, like, that was one of my proudest comedic moments.
As for least favorite,
If I had to go with one specifically, it might be the swapping of Raditz's actor fighting over the microphone thing.
Double son! No! Give me the mic! What? No, come on, man! Give me the mic!
actually, I have one. The nightmare scene that Bulma has of Vegeta.
Oh, yeah.
I regret how we wrote
nightmare?
that scene because it was unnecessarily dark, and it was back during a time where
That sort of dark humor was all the rage.
Yes.
I'm not here for the Dragon Ball.
What?
Oh, that.
It's weird how
That
humor
scene.
and comedy, things change so rapidly and so quickly, and the
That was something that
atmosphere,
didn't age
the
well.
ecosystem that within you work, it's so difficult to keep up with it. It is a challenge
It
in
is.
the day to day, and it's not one that I like to complain about because hell, everybody's got that problem. All creatives have that problem, but it definitely keeps you on your toes.
I think it's probably been a thing that kind of helps, though, just like the long form of how we worked with the show is just like, as we went on, we did adapt and we
Yeah.
did change.
It's hard to say we objectively got better, but I would definitely, it stands to reason to say that over time we improved our writing, our editing, our acting,
Oh, for
everything
sure.
got better as time went on. And I don't think
That's why
legitimately
I
don't
love the
believe
Cell
that
Saga
we
so
would've done
much.
that if we weren't challenged, if we didn't want so desperately to keep things fresh.
Compelling characters are the heart of any narrative, and
they
so
really
Team
did this
4-Star
for
was given the
11
task
years?
of taking Dragon Ball's expansive cast, most of whom many of us have known since childhood,
I feel
and
spoiled
molding them
watching
into
all
a
at once.
caricatured version of themselves, all the while maintaining their recognizable personalities, for the most part. In the abridged series, you've written characters like Vegeta, Goku, and Frieza as exaggerated versions of the original characters, but Cell seems to be doing his own thing entirely. How did you approach writing him?
Taka.
Yeah,
In the writing
Saga.
room,
Love you,
When it
Curtis.
comes to characters that are voiced by one of the writers, that writer will be way more prominent in coming up with some of the stuff for that character. Now, as Cell went on, as he became
sense.
like, Perfect Cell, Imperfect Cell was Taka doing his best to
Just
make
like
the
with
most
Nappa
weird,
and
disturbing,
Vegeta.
but incredibly just deranged. I believe at the time he said he wanted it to be a cross between Beetlejuice and Wishmaster.
Yeah.
Like that kind of a character where it's like
Never seen
okay,
either.
I'm gonna get you, but I'm gonna have fun while I'm doing it. I'm here to
I said
I'm
he'd sound
here
like
to
he ate
flex on you.
cigarettes.
His introduction is one of my favorite scenes from that arc. Like, bar none, that's... Oh, no. My favorite scene, actually, this scene may be my favorite scene that I've ever worked on, is when
What?
TJ
And the Wombat.
Oh, yeah.
doing their radio show,
And then Cell.
corresponding with their show, you have Cell wandering around eating people, and you don't see him on screen. You constantly see him just off screen, his shadow. You never actually see him for the most part. And as it goes on, the town becomes
what
a
that man was
ghost
drinking.
town. And then at the very last second, he's
at
breaks
the radio
into the
station.
studio. Video Killed the Radio Star plays in the background, and then the
I
last
actually
thing
knew
you
about that
hear
song.
is the song playing before it cuts to black. And
You had a lot of fun editing that scene, and we had a lot of fun coming up with and writing, because that was the most different scene I think we ever did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was actually kinda,
at
like,
least that
ominous and
season, maybe
scary.
for the whole show, just because
Like,
it
what is
allowed us
going
to
on?
be
Especially
way
someone that
more
never seen the original.
creative than anything we had done previously.
yeah, and I remember we were like, okay, how do we make this scene work if there's no dialogue? And then
We were,
like,
we were debating cutting the Nicky Town scene, but the scene preceding it with Cell talking to himself was just
Yeah.
too good.
Hey there, Cherry. What's your name? My name is Nicky Town. Who are you? Name's Cell. And you are looking fine.
Imperfect Cell specifically was easily the creepiest character we worked with, if only because he is literally a monster that eats people.
we
And he's a
wanted to
bug.
make a character that was highly unsettling and yet could be very funny. And that's why you have scenes where he's talking to himself.
Yelling at the bus driver who's honking at him after he whips his head 180 degrees around with us, like playing Jeepers Creepers, because we were making a Jeepers Creepers 2 reference there.
I've never seen Jeepers Creepers.
Beep.
It was a very fun character to work with because he's such a different villain early on. Eventually, he just kind of becomes Frieza meets a Saiyan. Like, his prominence characteristics shift dramatically towards Frieza and Vegeta at the more perfect
The
side of his
background
life
kind of reminds
cycle.
me of Cell
Of
versus
course,
videos by Dumb Artemis.
Semi-perfect Cell is one of those,
He's-
and he's like that weird puberty stage.
Yeah.
In the original version.
He wasn't around that long.
He's possessive, he's domineering, he's cocksure. He knows he's not perfect.
So this is what lips feel like.
That character was sort of interesting because he kind of looks
I
and
was
sounds like
16.
an idiot, but we also wrote some scenes where he's legitimately intimidating.
Oh no. I'm a drinking now.
And then when Perfect Cell came along, it was really just, okay,
Now
he's
he's-
perfect.
he's-
I don't
he-
give a damn about any of you motherfuckers.
He's in control, he loves what he's doing, and he just wants to have the best fight he can because of the Goku in him.
What do you think of our glorious battleground?
It's alright. Kinda small, in it?
Remember the
I
green
prefer
square?
Intimate.
We wrote him and Goku in that arc to be fight sexual. They treat fighting like fucking. That's their whole thing.
They love the art of fighting.
That's an
and
idea.
They treat it like the most intimate relationship it could possibly be.
Which is why when Goku switches out for Gohan, he's like,
So, you knew what this was. Just a fight. Nothing more.
Oh, that's what that was.
While Goku and Cell's conflicting personalities played well with their mutual love for fighting, the true highlight of the Cell saga would undoubtedly be the titular character's clash with the young Son Gohan.
Yeah,
with his Super
Gohan.
Saiyan 2 transformation being a fan favorite, many of whom hailing it as the best moment the original series produced. Both hype and expectations among viewers
Yeah.
was
I
understandable.
didn't know it was coming.
However, just before the climactic
So the bridge
battle
happened.
would commence, the show seemingly vanished.
I quit. Go on, get him. What?
Nani?
In a
Nani?
year.
What exactly brought on the hiatus, and how did that affect the writing of the last episodes? How far in advance was the hiatus planned, if at all?
I can't really say that the hiatus was planned so much. Part of it was due to burnout. We'd worked very, very hard on that season.
They
We
barely
had
got
been
to the finish
more
line.
involved with the show during that arc than I feel like we've ever been before, because something you'll notice, the editing for season 3 is a step above season 2, just as season 2 is a step above
Yeah.
season 1.
Get progressively
We started
better.
getting actual like new lip flaps for characters, new art, new assets, new animation. It was so much more involved. They were longer episodes. We were taking more and more care to make sure that they worked. We were getting new music, everything. We were trying to make season 3 as good as we possibly could. And at some point,
I'd pay it off.
Man, it hit us hard that we needed some time to relax and take a step back and prepare for what was going to be a 3-part
The finale.
super long finale.
Yeah, those episodes are really long. When I flew to Dallas, I literally downloaded the videos
But another
for
reason,
YouTube Premium and watched them on the plane.
was that we had actually moved
Like
to a new studio.
all of episode 60.
We had gotten a new CEO. We were really kind of trying to refocus ourselves.
A new CEO?
One of the things
Who is
that
the
we
CEO?
realized was, hey, sooner or later, Dragon Ball Z Abridged is gonna end.
No matter what happened, we had a finite amount of episodes.
Yeah. And we needed to prepare for that. Because here's the thing, we had Let's Plays, and we had some small reviews.
I still
and we
need to
had-
react to
As
stuff
things
like
went
that.
on, I mean, Let's Plays on
I
YouTube
also need
had
to play
dipped significantly
Kakarot.
over time anyway.
Yeah.
I've been doing my own
We had to
Nuzlocke
make
on
a
Wednesdays.
decision. We had to figure out what is the life of Team 4-Star beyond
Kai
Dragon
Abridged.
Ball Z Abridged.
And furthermore, what can we
Which is
actually
terrifying.
make money on?
Yeah. So we had to make the decision to take a step back from Dragon Ball Z Abridged, give it some air, and
Which is a
focus on
genius
new
idea.
projects. And you know, I will definitely apologize for making people wait because, you know,
No.
obviously I don't like making people wait on material. I didn't want to wait on material.
I mean, we know full well what people subscribed for.
Yeah.
We know. We aren't ignorant to that as many people
Yeah.
might think we are.
Yeah.
We understand, but
But I will never, and I'll say this outright, I will never apologize for planning our future and working hard for it.
Yeah.
Because there are many wonderful
And all it did was
people
build
within this
hype
company.
and let more people
Myself
discover it, because
not
every single day somebody discovers
And
Dragon Ball Z
I would like
Abridged
to
for
make
the first
sure
time.
that all of them have the
You ever sat and think about
opportunity to do the things that they love for a living.
It's really not uncommon for passion to conflict with responsibility over the course of a project's lifespan. Creating what you love may fill your heart, but oftentimes not your stomach, and DBZA, being a non-profit fan-made parody, made the gap between creative desire and financial necessity all the greater.
YouTube's got a
Still,
system.
however, Team 4-Star were steadfast in their
Muffin
commitment to
button.
the completion of Season 3, and having honed their writing chops over the first 2 seasons, they were
I like to
confident
blender.
in their ability to add a dramatic flair to the 5-year-long endeavor. In Season 3, you were much more willing to explore serious
5
scenes,
years for
play them
Season
straight,
3.
and even write your own. Was this the theme from the get-go with Season 3, or did it just sort of happen?
I won't lie, when we were writing out the scene with Goku leaving, we actually had to make the decision of whether or not he was going to say, I love you. And we cut that.
Oh.
Because it felt...
it doesn't feel
He
Goku.
just said bison,
No,
didn't he?
it didn't. But one of the things that I definitely wanted in there, and this line, for some reason, meant so much to me. And the line was,
I'm proud of you, son.
well, yeah,
That's me.
Yeah, that's your line. My line was actually, that year we spent in the chamber was the greatest year of my life. Well, that was supposed to be Goku saying, that time I spent with you, that was so important to me. That is Goku's way of saying, I know we don't always see eye to eye on what the things that we enjoy, but that made me very happy.
Bye, son.
Just gone.
That theme of fatherhood. that,
King Kai.
Knowing that your father might be an imperfect person and just being a kid and hearing those things.
And also, the dramatic irony of, bye, son.
Well, that was the one that was like my big sticking point. It's
What?
like, we've made this a running joke. Bye, son has been a running joke.
Oh, bye, son.
It needs to be the
Because
emotional
son, yeah.
capper of this scene.
Which is so us, actually, to take a joke and then make it be part of a big dramatic moment.
And hey, if we do make it out of this, please pick up my head and beat your father to death with.
Gohan going Super Saiyan 2, I think, was
And
the
then
one
the
that
whole
we
week he
put
never had
the
a soul,
most,
and I was like, oh, it's because he's ginger.
This is the
And I was
moment
like,
that we
"Oh,
are
it's 'cause
going to
he's a robot." I
play
was like, oh.
as straight-laced as possible. This is fan wankery. This is us doing a love letter to Dragon Ball Z, which essentially is
And
what
they
like the entire
nailed it.
latter half of Season 3 was for us. Was just us trying to show how much we absolutely love this this product.
I mean, yeah, it's true. If I had to say anything, Season 3 is our love letter. Top to bottom, actually.
Oh, yeah.
Speaking
It was
of
the
love
best.
letters, during the credits, at the very end, there is a scene of 16 underneath a tree with a music box version of Unmei no Hi playing. Android
A what?
16, and I want to put emphasis on this character, was not a character I expected to love writing for when we started. By the end of the saga, Android 16 became my favorite character
Really?
in that arc, maybe the show, and it meant the world to me that he had a happy ending. because he never got that in the original. He didn't get any kind of, like, he
Oh,
goes
yeah.
out with a tragic death that ultimately has no thematic relevance afterward. It just kind of, like, nothing ever comes
Happened
back with it. It's
Gohan.
There's no narrative follow-through. He dies, and then he doesn't get back because apparently he doesn't have a soul.
It's kind of ironic that he can be
so
kind of the
can't wish him
emotional
back.
core to a lot of those android scenes where, you know, they're just kind of focused on having fun and doing whatever they want because
they, like,
this
actually
is the first time
cyborgs?
they've had freedom in, like, since they've been Blade Runnered. So
Blade Runner.
they just want to
I've
go
never
out
seen
and
Blade
do
Runner, but that's
what
a
they want
funny way
when
to
they
say
want
it.
to do it, and they're just bringing 16 along because he has an objective. It's like, okay, we'll go do what you want to do, and we'll do what we want to do doing it. He ends up being kind of their moral compass in a lot of ways, which is really, I think, what kind of changed the timeline.
He was also
I think the
a
reason
robot
that
after
Android
Jero's
17 and
son.
18 are different characters in that timeline is because 16 was there.
This cannot get any dumber.
Agreed. Sure is a lot of not killing Goku going on right now.
A deep understanding of the source material couldn't be clearer from some of the additions Team 4-Star made to the original script. Any long-running franchise will have its peaks and valleys, and fans know better than anyone what the community responded to and what they didn't. Despite the show starting out as a straight-up comedy, like countless other abridged series that came before them, as the years went by, Kaiser, Lani, and Taka began to see an opportunity to defy expectations, to catch viewers off guard, and to give Dragon Ball Z the respect they knew it deserved. It's much easier to make someone laugh than it is to make them cry. How did you approach the more dramatic scenes like Goku and Gohan in episode 60?
If we were to expand any further on
Probably like
the
whole
idea of
King
how we
Kai.
really
That was
approach
funny.
that, it mostly comes down to our own personal psychologies at that point in our own life experiences, because you write what you know. To a certain extent, like, we all have our own relationships with our fathers, and we all believe in a certain ideal of fatherhood, but we also understand that people are imperfect, and part of growing up is realizing that your parents don't have have about as much figured out as you do when you hit that
your
point in
parent.
life.
You're also watching your
And
parents grow
that's
up when you're growing up.
Frightening and startling realization for a lot of people. So Goku being able to admit to Gohan, who at this point in our series has been looking at him like this slack-jawed idiot who's irresponsible, who doesn't know what he's doing, and for Goku to be able to admit to him, I'm bad at this stuff. I'm good at fighting. I know how to do that. It's what I like doing. I didn't realize that you didn't. In many ways, apologizing for not recognizing these features in his son, but letting him know how proud he is of the person that he has become and will continue to grow to be.
I'm sorry. Fighting it makes me happy. And I just thought it would make you happy too.
I think when you're writing for a scene that
It's
is
a
supposed to
transmission.
make people cry, first thing you have to do is establish a true emotional and human connection
It's a really
between
good drawing.
either two of the characters or the character in the audience.
More so, be real.
Yeah. When I write for these scenes, one of the things that I go for is stark, raw emotion. With Piccolo and Kami, Kami breaks at a point. He breaks when he says, well, maybe I'd rather be dead instead of part of you. Why does he say that? Does he hate Piccolo? No. He doesn't hate Piccolo.
It's because they were the same person, and he hates that part of himself. But we all have a part of ourselves that we hate, that we wish we could get rid of.
But he also notes that he's been stuck in the same place for a long time. He notes that this was a prison. This place is a prison for me. I am stuck here.
I mean,
When
all
he
those squares
mentions
make a
all the
circle,
things that
so-
happen down there, I can't do anything about because I can't leave. And then he mentions to Piccolo, if I put myself inside of you, all I've done is trade one prison for another. And that's a little peek into what was Kami's life like.
Now the only chance I have left is giving up my free will to someone else. It's just another prison.
And then when it comes to the Android 16 scene, when I wrote that scene was supposed to be about a young man who loves his father and trying to communicate with him.
In a manner of speaking, trying to follow in his footsteps as his dad was part of the Red Ribbon Army. It's like, oh, hey, I'm gonna, do you proud, Dad.
Yep.
I might not be as smart as you are, but I'm gonna go out there and do my job for this thing that you believe in.
And that's why during that
was
video
the
call that he
video.
has with his father.
And then
I sat
Goku,
down with
kind of-
Joshua Remix, and I really told him, okay, this delivery has to be as human as possible. And there's no joke in this scene. It's just a young man talking with his father.
Yeah, shooting him a message.
Yeah. With a fucking bird in the background.
We gotta go! Okay, sorry about this, Dad. Gotta run. Love you. Good luck with your cyborg.
Good luck with your cyborgs.
And then when it
Explodes.
came to the scene with Gohan and Goku, it was just all about, this is the moment where Goku connects, full on connects with his son, tells him exactly what he needs to tell him in that moment.
And more so, it's about payoff.
And it's like all for
these
nothing. The
jokes
stuff
that we've
comes
made
right
about
back.
Goku being a bad dad. It's time to like pay those off in the way that, you know, he might have been from a certain point of view, but he didn't mean to be. He wasn't trying to be a bad dad.
Yeah.
He just wasn't good
Didn't
at
know
it.
how.
It's something that he wasn't built for.
We had
Could've
gotten a
learned from
lot of,
Piccolo.
and I believe, due criticism for how we handled the whole father, like Goku being a bad father thing. We leaned too heavily early on because that was the joke of the fandom. And that's something I've talked
That
about.
Piccolo was
where in
actually
the first
dad,
season,
or
we were
Gohan's
leaning
dad.
into jokes that were already established because we didn't think about making our own like versions of these characters and playing that out straight. We just thought, oh yeah, you know, Goku's bad dad memes and a bunch of bullshit.
But if we hadn't leaned into
Seems
that,
like
we
the,
wouldn't have had as strong of a
the video got a
payoff
little
with that scene.
out-synced
Like,
there,
I don't
or desynced.
regret making the kind of jokes that we made. First of all, because, like you said, those were, like, that was the culture at the time and still kind of is now.
Yeah.
People are kind of coming back around to it.
Yeah,
but-
people are finally accepting that Goku is not a terrible father. He's just not
He just didn't know how.
conventional, and he struggles with it.
Yeah,
But
he's an anime dad.
yeah, he still loves his son. He loves his wife. He loves his family and will protect them.
He just happens to be dead and gone a lot.
Yeah.
Fly, son.
And that pretty much wraps things up. 67 episodes, 11 movies,
Oh, counting
3
the
specials,
multi-parts.
over 16 hours worth of content in 3 entire seasons.
And I'm gonna show
12
Kirby all of
long
it.
Years.
Show
I
Kirby
think
all
saying
of
goodbye
it.
to something you've grown up with is almost
The video's
always
gonna be coming
a
out
bitter pill
soon.
to swallow. Dragon Ball Z Abridged appeared during a period of time when Dragon Ball itself was almost completely absent from the mainstream zeitgeist. A fan-made parody that united old and new fans alike long before the likes of Dragon Ball Kai and Dragon Ball Super hit the airwaves. It wasn't ever encouraged by
What is
any
that?
official production in the West or in the East. It was barely even supported on YouTube. And
Barely.
more often than not, it was an uphill battle for them. But for 12 years, they made
Still
this
is.
incredibly silly, wonderful, and heartfelt show for us all to enjoy. So, as hard as it is to say goodbye, I'll leave you with this. Thank you, Team 4-Star. You were hilarious, and we quoted everything you said.
Yeah, everything.
Not afraid of change, I guess. I've never been. When it comes down to it,
Which
I
is what
know
Nick
they're
said
gonna be all right.
at the end of
Because if I've
December.
learned anything
Because
since
they've
Lenny
never been
Earth,
afraid of change.
it's that everyone is stronger than they
God,
think
they're so
they
young.
are. I left behind the best people in the world, and I'm happy about that. Things changed, and they're gonna keep changing. There ain't no stopping that. The most important part? Now, they can live their own lives and make their own futures.
That's actually really
I can't wait to
Goku's
see
little
the
speech
kind of
right here.
future they make.
So actually showing the crew of Team 4 starting out they're like done with kind of like the burden that Dragon Ball Z Bridge kind of had on them. It wasn't like a burden, it was more like a cloud above their head of like just things they had to deal with.
What? I'd like to extend a special thank you to Team 4-Star for being so open and eager to participate in this project. I would also like to thank Tom O'Regan, another YouTuber who creates incredible and hilarious video game breakdowns. Without his help on this, it almost certainly wouldn't have happened in the style that it did or on time.
In
You can
style?
check out
What?
Tom's
Oh,
channel
on
here,
time.
and if you haven't seen the other parts of this series, check out part 1 on
Yeah.
Team 4-Star's channel by clicking the prompt on screen now. But that'll do it for this week. Thank you so much for watching.
Got the Day of Fate and playing in the background. This was fantastic. I honestly wish it was longer, honestly. Nick, thank you so much for everyone at Team 4-Star for introducing me to Dragon Ball Z. I don't know how many of you watched this, but when I first watched Dragon Ball Z Abridged, the only characters I knew was Goku and Beerus, because KSI has a song called Beerus and made like the chain out of Beerus. That's literally all I knew. I knew about Goku and knew about Beerus. I like had seen Vegeta and I was like, oh, that's just Goku, just in like a different form, or like a different version of Goku. No, it's just somebody else that looks a lot like Goku. And I knew about like Super Saiyan and stuff, and like it was just, you introduced me and taught me this, and it's honestly, Dragon Ball Z Abridged has changed my life so much. It is literally up there with some of the shows I've reacted to, and like I'm still reacting to Dragon Ball Z stuff to this day. It's been almost 3 years since I started Dragon Ball Z Abridged, And over 2 years since my channel got deleted, I have still been doing Dragon Ball content since then. And thank you to all the people that are subscribed to my channel, and even that aren't subscribed to my channel, that watch my videos, that are here to watch me watch and learn about Dragon Ball Z. I know it's a very unconventional way, and I know a lot of people just tell me, just watch the show. But it's really cool to watch and learn this way. And thank you, Nick and Kaiser and Taka and everybody else from Team 4-Star for just everything. I can't wait to watch or show Kirby Dragon Ball Z Abridged. She's going to absolutely love it. She's not a fan of Dragon Ball. She'd seen like moments. She hasn't seen the entire thing, just a couple moments, and she didn't like it. So I'm sure Dragon Ball Z Abridged is going to be able to convince her. Those videos will be coming out probably in the next couple weeks. Probably, wait, we got, this week is going to be, yeah, we got like, what, 4 weeks until that? So it's going to be like end of July, I think. Because it's coming up Saturday, it's July 2nd. That's my birthday, so definitely stop by the stream. I'm probably going to be streaming for like 3 hours or so. Probably do an hour of Minecraft and then do Bioshock 2, like my normal Saturday streaming schedule. So that's going to be awesome. Nick, thank you so much for watching. I read every single comment. Let me know what other videos. There's been so many suggestions from Totally Not Mark. Nick, if you have any suggestions for videos, I would definitely love to hear what you would like me to react to next, and it will definitely have a heavy weight in my mind for when I do it and if I do it. So thank you so much to everybody who watches these videos. Some people said they watched for the very first time with me. I hope you enjoyed it. Hopefully it made your day better. But until the next video, take care and cue the music.
We were playing as soldiers, making soldiers.